Savitri, Book 2, the Book of the Traveller of the Worlds, Canto 10, The Kingdoms and Godheads of the Little Mind. For knowledge comes not to us as a guest, called into our chamber from the outer world, a friend and inmate of our secret self. It hid behind our minds and fell asleep, and slowly wakes beneath the blows of life. The mighty daemon lies unshaped within. To evoke, to give it form, is nature's task. All was a chaos of the true and false. Mind sought amid deep mists of nescience. It looked within itself, but saw not God. A material interim diplomacy denied the truth that transient truths might live, and hid the deity in creed and guess, that the world ignorance might grow slowly wise. This was the imbroglio made by sovereign mind, looking from a gleam ridge into the night. In her first tamperings within conscience, its alien dusk baffles her luminous eyes. Her rapid hands must learn a cautious zeal. Only a slow advance the earth can bear. Yet was her strength unlike the unseeing earth's, compelled to handle makeshift instruments invented by the life force and the flesh. Earth all perceives through doubtful images. All she conceives in hazardous jets of sight, small lights kindled by touches of groping thought. Incapable of the soul's direct inlook, she sees by spasms and solders knowledge scrap, makes truth the slave girl of her indigence, expelling nature's mystic unity, cuts into quantum and mass the moving all. She takes for measuring rod her ignorance. In her own domain, a pontiff and a seer, that greater power with her half-risen son wrought within limits, but possessed her field. She knew by a privilege of thinking force, and claimed an infant sovereignty of sight. In her eyes, however darkly fringed, was lit the archangel's gaze, who knows inspired his acts, and shapes a world in its far-seeing flame. In her own realm she stumbles not, nor fails, but moves in boundaries of subtle power, across which mind can step towards the sun. A candidate for a higher suzerainty, a passage she cut through from night to light, and searched for an ungrasped omniscience. A dwarf, three-bodied trinity was her serf. First, smallest of the three, but strong of limb, a lowbrow with a square and heavy jowl, a pygmy thought needing to live in bounds, for ever stooped to hammer fact and form. Absorbed and cabined in external sight, it takes its stand on nature's solid base, a technician admirable, a thinker crude, a riveter of life to habit's grooves, obedient to gross matter's tyranny, a prisoner of the molds in which it works. It binds itself by what itself creates, a slave of a fixed mass of absolute rules. It sees as law the habits of the world. It sees as truth the habits of the mind. In its realm of concrete images and events, turning in a worn circle of ideas, and ever repeating old familiar acts, it lives content with the common and the known. It loves the old ground that was its dwelling place, abhorring change as an audacious sin, distrustful of every new discovery. Only it advances step by careful step, and fears as if a deadly abyss, the unknown, a prudent treasurer of its ignorance. It shrinks from adventure, blinks at glorious hope, preferring a safe foothold upon things to the dangerous joy of wideness and of height. The world's slow impressions on its laboring mind, tardy imprints almost indelible, increase their value by their poverty. The old, sure memories are its capital stock. Only what sense can grasp seems absolute. External fact, it figures as sole truth. Wisdom identifies with the earthward look, and things long known and actions always done are to its clinging hold a balustrade of safety on the perilous stair of time. Heaven's trust to it are the established ancient ways. Immutable laws man has no right to change. A sacred legacy from the great dead past, or the one road that God has made for life. A firm shape of nature, never to be changed, part of the huge routine of the universe. A smile from the preserver of the worlds, sent down of old this guardian mind to earth, that all might stand in their fixed, changeless type, and from their secular posture never move. One sees it circling faithful to its task, tireless in an assigned tradition's round. In decayed and crumbling offices of time, it keeps close guard in front of custom's wall, or in an ancient night's dim environs, it dozes on a little courtyard's stones and barks at every unfamiliar light, as at a foe who would break up its home, a watchdog of the spirit's sense-railed house, against intruders from the invisible, nourished on scraps of life and matter's bones in its kennel of objective certitude. Namaste.